What if the only thing standing between you and everything you want is the way you think when no one's watching? Really think about that. Not your job, not your past, not your circumstances, just your thoughts, the invisible script you repeat to yourself every single day. Most people wait for life to show them things are going to be okay before they believe it. But what if you flipped that? What if you decided to believe first that everything works out for you, no matter what? How different would your days feel? How much more peace would you carry? How much further could you go if you weren't dragging the weight of doubt through every moment? This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing to lead with a mindset that transforms how you show up. When you believe things work out for you, your energy shifts. You stop moving like a person afraid to fall. You start moving like a person who expects to rise. That shift alone, internal, invisible, is what separates the stuck from the successful. You stop waiting for permission. You stop needing signs. You start building momentum from a place of quiet certainty. That certainty, that deep inner knowing, it gives you power. You don't hesitate as much. You don't second-guess every decision. You step, you move, you grow. And when life throws chaos your way, because it will, you don't collapse. You adjust. You don't internalize failure. You interpret it. You don't say, "Why me?" You say, "What's next?" That's what happens when you act as if everything works out. You become someone who can handle more. You expand your emotional endurance. You don't waste your energy fearing the unknown. You trust that whatever happens, you'll land on your feet. That trust, it's rare. And it's powerful. But most people won't do this. They'll keep waiting for the perfect time, the perfect feeling, the perfect sign. But that moment never comes unless you create it. That's why this mindset matters, because it forces you to show up today as if the outcome is already yours. It changes how you speak, how you walk, how you work. It builds a magnetic force around you. You start attracting people, opportunities, and solutions that were invisible before. Why? Because you finally believe they belong to you. So here's the truth. You don't need more time. You don't need more proof. You need to decide. Decide that your life supports you. Decide that setbacks shape you. Decide that everything is unfolding for your highest good even when you can't see it yet. And if you stick with me, by the end of this video, you'll have the mindset, the clarity, and the courage to finally move through life like someone who knows, deep in their soul, that everything is always working out. Not someday. Not maybe. Now, stay with me. You're about to meet a version of yourself that doesn't flinch, doesn't fear, and doesn't fold. This is the beginning of everything changing. Your mind is listening to everything you say, whether you realize it or not. Every time you speak in fear, in doubt, in hesitation, your brain records it. And then, without your permission, it starts building a world around that belief. It filters your choices, your actions, even your emotions, to match the internal script you keep repeating. That's why when you constantly tell yourself that life is hard, that things never work out, that you're unlucky, you begin to live inside that reality. Not because it's the truth, but because it became your truth. But when you flip that script and start saying, thinking, and acting as if everything works out for you, something powerful happens. Your mind shifts from protection to possibility, from fear to faith, from limits to expansion. The brain doesn't ask if your thoughts are true. It asks if you believe them. Once you believe something, your subconscious gets to work finding evidence. That's why when you act as if you're supported, you start noticing support. When you act as if opportunities are coming, you start recognizing doors you used to walk past without seeing. This isn't luck. This is the mind doing what it's built to do, align your outer world with your inner dialogue. The question is, what world are you telling your mind to build? Most people don't lose because they're not capable. They lose because they program their minds to expect struggle, to anticipate rejection, to prepare for disappointment. They think it's practical, but all it does is paralyze. They never give life a chance to surprise them because they've already decided it won't. But you have another option. You can choose to act like life is leaning in your favor, like everything happening now is setting you up for something better, like you're always being guided, even when the path isn't clear. That belief alone can silence the chaos in your head and unlock courage you forgot you had. When you operate from this mindset, you start trusting your instincts more. You move with intention. You speak with clarity. You carry yourself like someone who knows they belong in every room they walk into. And the truth is, people feel it. They respond to it. They don't even know why they're drawn to you. why they listen more closely, respect more deeply, but it's because your energy tells them you believe in your own direction. You're no longer waiting to be validated. You've already chosen your value. That's the force of a mind aligned with purpose. This isn't about arrogance, it's about alignment. You're not pretending you're better. You're refusing to believe you're less. You're stepping into a mental state where life feels manageable, where peace replaces panic, and where action takes the place of overthinking. And once your mind is set, everything else begins to follow. Your life doesn't rise to your hopes, it rises to your expectations. So speak like it's already working, move like it's already yours, and watch what happens next. Most people wait for the world to give them a reason to feel confident. They wait for proof, for success, for praise, before they allow themselves to believe they are capable. But that's not how power is built. Power is built the moment you stop waiting, the moment you decide that your belief doesn't need permission. Confidence isn't a reward, it's a choice. It's not given to you after you win. It's the energy you bring before you even begin. And when you choose to act as if everything works out for you, you're making a decision to lead with that power instead of chasing it. You're stepping into the mindset of someone who doesn't ask, "Can I?" but declares, "I will." You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be fearless to be strong. What you need is the inner conviction that life responds to your energy. That when you show up with clarity, commitment, and calm certainty, the world adjusts. Opportunities open. People listen differently. Challenges shrink because you've stopped shrinking. That energy becomes your new normal, not because life got easier, but because you stopped doubting your place in it. You stopped thinking you were a mistake trying to find your worth. You started remembering that you were built with purpose. And purpose doesn't ask for approval. When you believe everything works out for you, you begin to walk through your days differently. You stop bracing for impact. You start leaning into the moment. You trust that no matter what happens, you're equipped to handle it. You don't crumble under delay. You don't spiral in uncertainty. You adjust. You grow. You rise. That's the quiet strength of someone who no longer negotiates with fear, because fear will always offer you a reason to stop, a reason to hide, a reason to play small. But when your mindset is anchored in the belief that all things are working together for your good, fear loses its grip. Doubt becomes noise, and progress becomes inevitable. There's a peace that comes when you stop chasing certainty and start living from conviction. That peace protects your energy. It sharpens your focus. It frees you from the anxiety that comes from constantly needing validation. You start to understand that your peace is your power. And when you lead with peace, you become unshakable. May still throw storms your way, but you're no longer afraid of the rain. You've built yourself from the inside out, and nothing external can take away what you've already decided to become. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are not waiting for life to approve of you. You are the one setting the tone, the one creating the path, the one who believes so deeply in their direction that the universe has no choice but to meet you there. Keep going. Keep speaking as if it's done. Keep moving as if it's yours, because the moment you truly believe it, the world begins to believe it too. The moment you start thinking like a person who wins, your life begins to mirror that belief. Not immediately, not all at once, but undeniably. Your focus sharpens, your posture shifts, your presence expands, and that change doesn't come from the outside. It starts with the quiet, firm decision to no longer entertain the version of you that doubts everything. You've lived that life long enough. You've walked through days weighed down by what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. And what did it give you? Stress, hesitation, missed chances. But now, you're stepping into something different. A mindset that doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It creates it. A mindset that doesn't break under pressure. It grows through it. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need a detailed map. What you need is the mental discipline to keep choosing belief over fear every single time. That's the real work, not the hustle, not the grind. The work is training your mind to see possibility where others see limitation, to move through confusion with confidence, to show up, not because everything is clear, but because you've decided that clarity follows commitment. That's what most people don't realize. They wait to feel ready. But readiness is a lie. If you wait for certainty, you'll miss every opportunity that was meant for you. The only way to live the life you want is to act like you deserve it. before there's proof, before there's applause, before anything makes sense. And when you start doing that, you unlock a version of yourself that's been buried under layers of fear, doubt, and hesitation. That version of you isn't soft. It's unshakable. It doesn't need permission to be powerful. It knows that every step forward is a vote for a new reality. And that's exactly what you're building. One decision at a time, one thought at a time, one day at a time. This is the turning point. When your energy no longer matches your past, when you stop repeating the old stories and start writing a new one with every move you make, you begin to see setbacks as redirections, delays as lessons, struggles as strength training. You don't get caught in the emotion of the moment because you're anchored in something deeper, the decision that your life works for you, not against you. And that one belief, if you hold on to it, will change everything. Start imagining what's possible if you lived like that every day. If you woke up and immediately aligned your mind with progress. If you walked into every room believing you belonged. If you let go of the fear that's been driving your choices and replaced it with trust. Not blind hope, but solid, grounded inner certainty that says, I don't know how, but I know it's working out. Because once you choose that energy and live in it consistently, everything begins to respond. Life doesn't just change by chance. It changes when you change your state. That shift begins right now. Your energy is a command. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak, every action you take, it's sending a signal. And life doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to alignment. If your mind is consumed by fear but your words try to sound confident, there's a disconnect. If your actions scream hesitation while your goals demand boldness, there's no harmony. But when your inner world matches the reality you say you want, momentum begins. That's the secret to those who rise. They're not waiting for circumstances to give them permission to believe. They believe first, deeply, fully. And that belief becomes the fuel that transforms every obstacle into a stepping stone. You are not meant to chase life. You are meant to claim it. That means showing up in full alignment with the future you want to create. Not halfway, not part-time, fully, emotionally, mentally, physically. You move as though it's already happening. You think with the mind of someone who's already overcome. You speak with the clarity of someone who has already arrived. That's not delusion, it's direction. Because you don't become confident after success. You create success by choosing to be confident now, not later. Now. That's the mindset that bends reality in your favor. That's what causes doors to open and resistance to break. You've been taught to wait, to shrink, to keep your voice low until someone else gives you a platform. But you are your platform. You are your breakthrough. You are the shift. And the moment you stop acting like you're at the mercy of life, life stops testing your limits and starts responding to your command. You were not built to live in doubt. You were designed for clarity. You were built to create, to lead, to rise. But that potential only comes alive when you stop second-guessing and start standing firm in your truth. You've seen what doubt creates. You've felt what hesitation costs. You've lived the quiet pain of playing small. Now you know that belief is the difference. The inner switch that changes the way you walk, talk, think, and lead. That's where your power lives. Not in waiting for approval, but in moving with certainty, even when the outcome isn't clear. Because the outcome doesn't shape the mindset shapes the outcome. And once you start thinking like everything works for you, you unconsciously begin building the life that reflects that truth. This isn't about pretending. This is about choosing. Choosing strength in moments of fear. Choosing focus in the face of noise. Choosing to keep moving forward when everything in you wants to pause. Because progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from persistence. And when you stay persistent with the energy of someone who expects things to work out, you become unstoppable. Keep breathing in belief. Keep exhaling doubt. Your life is responding. Your future is shifting. And it's all because you've decided to act as if everything always works out for you. Every time you choose to align with confidence, even when you feel uncertain, you're rewiring your identity. You're telling your mind, your body, and your environment who you are becoming. Not who you've been. Not who others said you were, but who you've decided to be. That decision carries more power than any past mistake, more weight than any opinion, and more momentum than any failure. The mind doesn't argue with what you repeatedly declare. It begins to accept it, integrate it, build your reality around it. This is how transformation begins, not by force, but by frequency. The frequency of belief, the frequency of self-trust, the frequency of inner certainty that says, I can handle anything. You weren't created to beg for peace. You weren't designed to beg for answers. You were given the ability to choose, and with every choice, you shape the world you live in. That power is not outside of you. It lives within you. But most people never tap into it. They wait for signs. They wait for clarity. They wait for permission. And while they wait, life passes. Opportunities fade. Confidence slips. You can't afford to keep waiting. You've waited long enough. There is no right moment to step into your greatness. Only the moment you choose to do it. You've already survived so much. You've already overcome what once felt impossible. That's not random. That's not luck. That's strength. That's endurance. And now that same strength is asking to be used not for survival but for elevation. Your next level requires you to think differently, act boldly, and show up consistently. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because you finally understand that your energy is not something you protect. It's something you project. When you walk into your day with the belief that everything works for your good, you're not ignoring reality, you're shaping it. The mind listens to how you speak to yourself. Every silent thought, every internal conversation. And if you're constantly repeating fear-based patterns, your actions will reflect fear. But when you train your inner dialogue to support your vision, everything changes. You begin to act like someone who believes, or you start attracting moments that match that belief. Life responds to alignment, not desperation. You're not here to chase outcomes. You're here to become the kind of person who naturally creates them. There's a frequency that success lives on. It's not louder, it's not faster, it's more certain. It doesn't panic. It doesn't plead. It decides. And when you start acting like it's already working out, you tune into that frequency. You start to operate with the calm confidence of someone who knows their future is secure. You don't fake it. You embody it. You breathe it. You live it. And the world around you begins to shift. Not because it's magic, but because you finally stopped doubting your power and started moving like everything you need is already yours. Because it is. Your beliefs shape your reality in ways more profound than you realize. Each thought, each moment of self-doubt, each flicker of hesitation quietly rewires your brain to expect failure, resistance, and limitation. But this wiring can be changed. It must be changed. Because when you act as if everything always works out for you, you are consciously creating new neural pathways. Pathways of hope, resilience, and unstoppable faith. This rewiring rewrites your story at the deepest level. Your subconscious mind begins to accept success as normal. Your emotions start aligning with victory rather than fear, and your actions begin reflecting certainty instead of hesitation. The most powerful tool you have is your mind. It's the origin of every choice you make, every relationship you build, every opportunity you create. But your mind is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally when trained correctly. When you choose to see challenges as growth, obstacles as lessons, and setbacks as setups for greater things, you shift your entire experience of life. This is not just positive thinking. This is cognitive transformation. It is the intentional decision to operate from possibility rather than limitation. When you consistently act from this place, your mind becomes a magnet for solutions and breakthroughs, not problems and fear. Doubt is the heaviest weight you can carry. It slows you down. It confuses your purpose. It drains your energy. But belief is the lightest armor. It propels you forward. It clarifies your path. It fuels your courage. When you decide to act as if everything is already working in your favor, you discard the burden of doubt. You step into a higher frequency of being, a frequency where your mind doesn't waste time questioning, but instead focuses fully on creating. This is where transformation happens, not in waiting for perfect conditions, but in rising despite imperfection. Confidence doesn't come from flawless execution. It comes from consistent action, fueled by unwavering belief. You don't need to feel ready. You need to start. Every step you take while believing things will work out recalibrates your nervous system. It teaches your brain that success is safe, achievable, and inevitable. Over time, these small acts of faith accumulate. They build momentum that no obstacle can stop. You become someone who no longer fears failure because failure is no longer a threat. It's feedback, a chance to refine and advance. Your future is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. By acting as if everything always works out, you claim responsibility for your life. You stop blaming circumstances and start leveraging them. You stop being a victim and become a victor. The power to change your story lies within your mindset. And that power is activated every time you choose belief over fear, action over hesitation, and vision over doubt. This is the foundation of unstoppable success. This is how you live as if everything always works out for you, not by chance, but by choice. There is a profound freedom that comes when you stop waiting for permission, from others, from circumstances, or even from yourself, to move forward. When you act as if everything is already working in your favor, you break free from the chains of hesitation and fear that hold most people captive. This freedom is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about refusing to let those problems define you, shape your identity, or dictate your future. Instead, you choose to operate from a place of certainty and trust in your own ability to navigate whatever comes your way. That choice alone changes everything. Your brain thrives on certainty. It seeks patterns, stability, and predictability. When you feed it doubt and fear, it responds with anxiety and hesitation. But when you feed it certainty and belief, it responds with clarity and courage. Acting as if everything is already working out sends a powerful signal to your nervous system. You are safe, capable, and ready. This signal rewires your body's response to stress. Instead of freezing or fleeing, you engage and conquer. You step into your power because your mind believes there is a way forward, and there always is. The power of acting as if lies in its ability to shape your identity. Who you believe you are determines how you behave, what you tolerate, and the risks you take. If you believe you are someone who overcomes challenges, who finds solutions, who deserves success, you will naturally act in ways that reflect that belief. Your actions will be consistent with your vision. You will set boundaries, pursue goals relentlessly, and reject anything that doesn't serve your growth. Your life becomes a reflection of the person you have chosen to become, not the person you once were or the person others expected you to be. This shift in identity isn't just about confidence. It's about resilience. Resilience is not just bouncing back, it's moving forward stronger and wiser after every setback. When you act as if everything is working out, you prepare your mind and spirit for resilience. You don't crumble under pressure. You don't let failure stop you. Instead, you use every challenge as fuel to propel you higher. This resilience rewires your brain's response to adversity. It transforms obstacles into opportunities. It turns setbacks into setups for success. This is how you rise above fear, doubt, and pain. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. Every time you choose to believe in your success, you lay a brick in the foundation of a new reality. Acting as if everything works out is the blueprint for building that reality. It requires discipline and practice because old patterns don't disappear overnight. But every moment you choose belief over fear, action over inaction, you are rebuilding your future. You are planting seeds of transformation that will grow into a life of purpose, fulfillment, and unstoppable momentum. This is the power you hold. This is your path forward. Your environment, the people you surround yourself with, and the energy you allow into your space all influence how strongly you can hold on to the belief that everything works out for you. When you act as if success and fulfillment are already on their way, you begin to attract forces that align with that belief. This is not magic or wishful thinking. It is a psychological truth rooted in how the mind filters and processes information. Your brain scans for evidence that supports your dominant beliefs. When you expect good outcomes, you become more aware of opportunities, solutions, and allies you might have overlooked before. Your focus sharpens. Your instincts become clearer. This is the foundation of momentum. Momentum is a force that cannot be stopped once it gains speed. The more you act as if you are already succeeding, the more your brain works to make that success a reality. This is why small actions, repeated daily with conviction, build unstoppable momentum. It is the difference between waiting for perfect conditions and creating perfect conditions through your mindset and habits. Each step forward, no matter how small, rewires your brain, strengthens your resolve, and signals to the universe that you are serious. You are no longer a passive observer of your life. You are its active creator. Doubt and fear will always attempt to creep in. They are natural and necessary parts of growth, but they must not be allowed to control your actions. Acting as if everything is working out is an act of defiance against the voice that says you can't, won't, or shouldn't. It is a declaration of faith in your own power to change your circumstances, no matter how overwhelming they may seem. This faith is not blind optimism. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that challenges are temporary and your strength is permanent. When you anchor yourself in this truth, you stop reacting to fear and start responding with courage. This courage transforms how you face uncertainty. Uncertainty becomes less of a threat and more of a frontier to explore. When you believe that everything will work out, you begin to see setbacks as detours, not dead ends. You begin to trust your inner guidance and the process of growth, even when the path is unclear. This trust fuels persistence and patience, two of the most powerful ingredients for long-term success. You learn to stay committed to your vision without needing immediate proof or external validation. Your motivation shifts from avoiding pain to pursuing your deepest desires. Your mind and body are deeply connected. When you act as if success is already yours, you change not only your thoughts but your physiology. Your posture straightens, your breath deepens, and your energy rises. These physical changes reinforce your mental state, creating a feedback loop of confidence and determination. This alignment of mind and body prepares you to take bold actions, to face obstacles head-on, and to inspire others through your example. Acting as if is not just a mental exercise. It is a full-body commitment to your future. Every moment you choose belief over doubt, you strengthen your ability to transform your life. Acting as if everything works out is a practice, a discipline, and a mindset. It rewires your brain, reshapes your identity, and unlocks the unstoppable force within you. This is not a theory. It is a way of living that turns dreams into reality. You have the power to choose it right now, to step into it fully, to make it your truth. This choice changes everything. You might wonder what it truly means to live as if everything always works out for you. It means adopting a mindset where fear, doubt, and uncertainty no longer dictate your decisions. It means stepping into a space where your thoughts and actions align with unwavering trust in your journey. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about consciously choosing to focus on possibilities instead of problems. When you act this way, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind, which governs much of your behavior without you even realizing it. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you believe to be true. So when you act as if, your subconscious accepts this new reality, reshaping your habits, reactions, and focus to match. This shift rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that support confidence, resilience, and hope. The more you practice acting as if, the stronger these pathways become. You build mental muscles that carry you through difficult moments with grace and strength. This is why it is crucial to consciously choose your thoughts and actions every day. Each small decision to believe that things will work out, even when they don't seem to be, strengthens your inner foundation. It transforms uncertainty into opportunity and setbacks into lessons. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You become the architect of your reality. Holding this mindset takes courage. It means resisting the natural pull of negativity that the brain is wired to notice first. Your brain's survival instincts prioritize potential threats, which can trap you in cycles of worry and hesitation. But when you deliberately act as if, you retrain your brain to scan for possibilities instead of dangers. You teach yourself to expect success, and this expectation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience and persistence. But every time you choose belief over fear, you reinforce your new reality. It also means embracing discomfort. Growth is rarely comfortable, and acting as if everything works out often pushes you into unfamiliar territory. This discomfort is the sign that you are expanding your limits. It's a signal that you are shedding old beliefs and behaviors that no longer serve you. Instead of retreating, you meet this discomfort with curiosity and determination. You remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but the strength and freedom gained from it are permanent. This perspective shifts your relationship with fear and resistance from enemy to ally. Acting as if everything always works out empowers you to take risks and make decisions without the need for absolute certainty. It frees you from the paralysis of overthinking and the trap of waiting for the perfect moment. When you act with this mindset, you move forward with conviction, even in the face of doubt. This forward motion builds momentum, creating a cycle where action fuels belief, and belief fuels more action. This cycle is the engine of transformation. Ultimately, choosing to act as if is a declaration of faith in your own ability to navigate life's challenges and emerge stronger. It rewires your brain, reshapes your emotions, and unlocks an unstoppable inner power. This mindset is your secret weapon against fear, uncertainty, and setbacks. It places the power of transformation squarely in your hands. No matter what obstacles arise, you can choose to act as if everything always works out. And in doing so, you will discover a new way to live, bold, confident, and unstoppable. Have you ever stopped to realize that the way you speak to yourself shapes every moment of your life? The words you choose inside your mind are more than just thoughts. They are the foundation of your reality. When your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, criticism, and fear, you reinforce a version of yourself that feels small, incapable, and stuck. But when you shift that dialogue, speaking to yourself with kindness, courage, and certainty, you begin to build a new identity, one that believes in possibility, that sees challenges as stepping stones, and that moves forward with unwavering purpose. This transformation begins with awareness. The moment you become conscious of the stories you tell yourself, you gain the power to rewrite them. This is where true freedom lies. The freedom to break the cycle of negative self-talk and replace it with empowering affirmations that fuel your growth. Imagine how different your days would feel if you spoke to yourself as your own greatest ally instead of your harshest critic. The brain listens to these words as commands and adapts your emotions, your confidence, and your actions accordingly. This is not a superficial change. It is a deep psychological rewiring that alters the way you experience the world and how you respond to obstacles. Each empowering thought creates new pathways in your brain, strengthening your resilience and sharpening your focus. The more consistently you nurture these positive conversations, the more natural they become. Eventually, they become the default soundtrack of your mind. Choosing to honor and uplift yourself mentally is a radical act of self-love and courage. It means refusing to let fear or past failures define your worth or limit your future. It means recognizing that your value does not come from external validation, but from the respect and belief you hold for yourself. This internal respect creates an unshakable foundation that no setback or criticism can erode. When your inner voice becomes your fiercest supporter, you unlock a powerful source of motivation that no external force can take away. But this shift demands relentless commitment. Old habits die hard, and the mind will resist change with doubts and excuses. You must meet these moments with patience and persistence, gently redirecting your focus back to what serves your highest good. This discipline is the key that unlocks a higher level of mental strength. Each time you choose empowering language over defeatist thoughts, you reinforce new neural connections, and your mindset becomes more expansive, creative, and resilient. This practice becomes a daily ritual, a sacred space where you build your inner fortress of confidence and clarity. Your self-talk directly influences your ability to take bold, decisive action. When your mind is cluttered with hesitation and fear, your actions will mirror that uncertainty. But when your inner dialogue is clear, positive, and purposeful, you move forward with conviction and clarity. This clarity fuels momentum and progress, transforming small steps into giant leaps. It allows you to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of growth, rather than a threat. This mental clarity becomes your compass in times of doubt, guiding you steadily toward your goals. Ultimately, mastering your self-talk is mastering your destiny. It is the secret weapon that turns fear into fuel, weakness into strength, and dreams into reality. When you speak to yourself with power and compassion, you rewrite your story and reclaim your life. This is the moment to commit to that inner conversation, to become your own champion and create a mindset that propels you forward, no matter what. Your future self depends on the words you say today. Choose them wisely and watch yourself rise beyond what you ever thought possible. There is a force inside you more powerful than any obstacle you face, more relentless than any setback you endure. It is the force of your will, the raw energy that fuels every decision, every step forward when the path feels impossible. This force is not some distant myth or untouchable power. It is the very essence of your being waiting to be unleashed. You have survived every hardship, every moment of doubt, every time the world tried to convince you to give up. That survival is proof of your strength. Now, it is time to transform that strength into unbreakable resolve. When you understand that your will is the driver of your destiny, you begin to act with a certainty that defies fear and dissolves hesitation. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is not luck or talent. It is the refusal to quit. It is the decision to show up, day after day, regardless of how you feel or what stands in your way. This commitment is not easy. It requires discipline, patience, and the willingness to embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. When you choose to persist, you send a message to your subconscious that you are serious, that your vision is worth fighting for. That message ignites a chain reaction inside your mind and body, releasing confidence, focus, and resilience. It transforms fear into excitement and obstacles into opportunities. Understand that your will cannot be weak and strong at the same time. Every time you give in to excuses, procrastination, or self-doubt, you chip away at your own foundation. But every act of courage, no matter how small, rebuilds it stronger than before. The power to keep going comes not from motivation alone. It comes from cultivating a mindset that refuses to accept defeat as an option. It comes from knowing that the only real failure is giving up on yourself. Your will is a muscle that grows stronger with use. It thrives on challenges because challenges give it purpose. The more you push through resistance, the more unshakable you become. Your mind is a battlefield, and your will is your greatest weapon. Every negative thought you allow to linger weakens your position, but every positive affirmation strengthens it. You must become vigilant, guarding your mind against the toxic voices that seek to undermine your progress. This is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing to focus on what empowers you instead of what limits you. The moment you decide to control your thoughts, you take control of your actions. That control is liberation. It frees you from the chains of fear, doubt, and indecision. It allows you to live intentionally, creating a life shaped by your deepest desires, not by circumstances beyond your control. No one else can give you this power. It belongs to you alone. When you fully own your will, you tap into a reservoir of strength that has been within you all along. It is the fire that turns dreams into plans, plans into actions, and actions into results. It is the invisible force that makes the impossible possible. So, choose to cultivate it daily. Face every challenge with the unwavering belief that you are capable, worthy, and ready. This is how you rise beyond limitation. This is how you become unstoppable. Your will is your birthright. Claim it now, and watch yourself conquer every mountain ahead. Every moment you hesitate to claim your power, you surrender a piece of your potential. But potential, no matter how vast, means nothing without action. The universe does not reward intentions alone. It responds to those who commit fully, who step into the arena of life with courage and unrelenting focus. Your dreams will never manifest in the shadows of doubt. They require you to stand in the light of your own conviction, unwavering and bold. This conviction must be carved deep within your spirit, until it becomes the foundation of every choice you make, the anchor that holds you steady when storms rage around you. The struggle you face is not a sign of weakness. It is the proving ground for greatness. You must learn to embrace the discomfort of growth, knowing that every challenge strips away what no longer serves you and reveals what you are truly made of. Your mind will fight you, whispering lies about your limits, convincing you to settle, to shrink back. But you must refuse those lies with the ferocity of someone who knows their worth. Your worth is not determined by past failures or external circumstances. It is inherent, eternal, and waiting to be claimed through the fire of your persistence. There is power in persistence that transcends skill or luck. It is the force that breaks down walls built by fear and doubt. It is the quiet, relentless drumbeat in your soul that says, "I will not stop until I am free." This power transforms ordinary people into legends. It teaches you that the journey is not about perfection, but progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over the voice that says not enough. Every time you rise after falling, you reinforce a new truth, that you are stronger than any obstacle, tougher than any hardship. Your transformation begins in your mind, where every thought shapes your reality. Mastering your inner dialogue is the key to unlocking your true potential. When you refuse to accept negativity and self-doubt as the soundtrack of your life, you reclaim your narrative. You become the author of your own story, crafting a future defined not by limitation but by limitless possibility. This requires vigilance, discipline, and a deep commitment to self-love. Loving yourself fiercely means protecting your energy, choosing environments and people that elevate you, and shutting out anything that dims your light. The world may try to convince you that you are alone in your struggle, but the truth is that every person who has ever achieved greatness has walked this path. They were not gifted with supernatural abilities. They were ordinary individuals who made extraordinary choices. You have that same power within you. It is not a matter of if, but when you decide to unleash it. The moment you do, your life begins to shift. Fear loses its grip, and hope takes its place. Resistance crumbles, and momentum builds. Doubt fades, replaced by clarity and purpose. This is your time to step fully into the force that lives inside you, to silence the noise of distraction and distraction's lies, to build a fortress of resilience that no setback can penetrate. You are not defined by your past, your fears, or the opinions of others. You are defined by your commitment to rise again and again until your vision becomes reality. Claim this power. Let it drive you with unstoppable momentum. The life you desire is waiting for you to show up, fully present and unbreakable. Rise now and own the greatness that is yours by birthright. You carry within you a force so profound it can shatter the walls of limitation that have confined you for far too long. This force is your unwavering belief in yourself, The relentless conviction that your existence is not a mere accident, but a purposeful journey destined for greatness. The moment you fully embrace this truth, you ignite a fire within, a fire that burns away hesitation, fear, and every excuse that has held you captive. It is this fire that propels you forward when the world tries to pull you back. This fire that fuels the transformation of your mind and spirit into unbreakable armor. Your mind is the battlefield, where victory is won or lost. It is here you must wage war against the whispers of doubt, the chains of past failure, and the seductive comfort of complacency. These enemies thrive on your silence and submission. They grow stronger when you allow fear to dictate your choices, when you settle for less than you deserve. But you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the commander of your thoughts. Train your mind to reject anything that does not serve your highest purpose. Condition it to seek strength in adversity, to find opportunity in every setback, and to rise with greater force after every fall. This transformation requires fierce discipline. It demands that you cut ties with toxic influences that drain your energy and cloud your vision. It means surrounding yourself with clarity, purpose, and those who reflect the greatness you are becoming. You must cultivate an inner sanctuary where your spirit can breathe freely, untouched by negativity or distraction. In this space, your dreams take root and grow, nourished by relentless focus and unwavering determination. You become the gardener of your destiny, tending to your growth with patience and unyielding care. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak to yourself, shapes the reality you experience. Refuse to let fear shape your story. Replace the narrative of limitation with a declaration of power. Speak to yourself with respect, encouragement, and unshakable faith. Your self-talk is the blueprint of your identity. It builds or destroys based on the foundation you lay. Build a foundation so strong that no external circumstance can shake it. Let your internal voice be the loudest, most confident sound in your life. The world may test you relentlessly, but it is your response that defines you. Strength is not the absence of struggle, it is the mastery of it. Each challenge is a sculptor's tool, carving away doubt, refining your focus, and revealing the resilient spirit beneath. You are forged in the fires of your trials, not despite them. This is the essence of true power, rising each time you fall, moving forward even when the path is obscured, and believing without question that your breakthrough is imminent. You were never meant to live beneath your potential or shrink in the face of difficulty. You were created to rise, to break chains, to rewrite the rules of your existence with courage and conviction. This moment, right now, holds the key to unlocking that power. Seize it with everything you have. Let nothing hold you back. You are the force of change in your life. You are the author of your future. Stand tall in your power and move forward with unstoppable momentum. Your destiny awaits, and it belongs to the bold. Your power is not a fleeting spark. It is an unrelenting force, deep and steady, waiting for you to claim it fully. The struggle you face is not a sign of weakness, but a signal of awakening. Every obstacle is a test to see how badly you want to break free from the limits that have been imposed upon you, by others, by circumstances, and most importantly, by yourself. The true battle is internal, fought in the silence of your thoughts, in the moments when no one is watching, when you decide whether to surrender or to stand taller than ever before. This is where your character is forged, where your future is written in the language of determination and courage. You must realize that every step forward demands you to shed the weight of doubt and fear that clings to your mind like chains. These are illusions designed to keep you small, to convince you that greatness is reserved for others, not for you. But greatness is not exclusive. It is your birthright. To access it, you must silence the lies you tell yourself. I'm not enough. I'll never succeed. This is too hard. These words are nothing more than shadows trying to dim your light. Replace them with unwavering affirmations of your strength, your worth, and your capacity to overcome. Speak to your soul. With the power of truth, you are capable beyond measure. The process of transformation is not comfortable. It demands that you confront your weaknesses with brutal honesty and meet them head-on. It requires relentless self-discipline to dismantle old patterns, to refuse distractions that numb your potential, and to commit every fiber of your being to the vision you hold for yourself. You will face resistance, both external and internal. The world resists change, especially when that change threatens the familiar. But your resolve must be fiercer than the resistance you face. Let every challenge sharpen your focus instead of dulling your spirit. Surround yourself with what fuels your growth, clarity, intention, and fierce commitment. Your environment shapes your mind, and your mind shapes your reality. Build a fortress of positive energy around you, where your dreams are nurtured and your belief is unshakable. Guard your mental space fiercely. Reject negativity, distraction, and anything that weakens your resolve. This is the ground where your future takes form, where the invisible seeds of your effort germinate into unstoppable momentum. Every moment you hesitate, the opportunity slips further from your grasp. Time does not wait, and neither should you. The path to your breakthrough is paved with decisions made in courage, with actions taken despite fear. You do not have to be fearless, but you must be fearless enough to move forward anyway. This is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. To rise, you must embrace discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies the freedom you seek. Remember, your worth is not defined by your past mistakes or the judgments of others. It is defined by your willingness to rise again and again, to fight for the life you deserve. You are not here to survive. You are here to thrive. This is your time. Stand firm in your power, unleash your potential without apology, and claim the life that is waiting for you. The world will notice the strength that rises within you. Your destiny is not a distant dream. It is your inevitable reality. Move forward with unbreakable will. The fire that burns inside you is not meant to flicker and fade. It is meant to roar with relentless intensity. You have within you the raw materials of greatness, resilience, vision, and an untamed spirit that refuses to bow to circumstance. The world may try to label you, to confine you within its narrow expectations, but your soul knows no such limits. It aches for expansion, for breaking free from every cage that holds you back. This yearning is not weakness. It is the beginning of your rebirth. To honor it, you must commit to a daily act of courage, the decision to rise, to push forward, even when every fiber of your body screams to quit. Your mind is a battlefield, where the war for your future is waged silently and ceaselessly. Doubt will come as a thief in the night, disguised as reason, whispering that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable. These lies are traps meant to keep you locked in place. You must meet them with fierce defiance. Affirm to yourself with every breath that you are the architect of your destiny. The only limits you face are the ones you accept. The moment you refuse to accept less than your full potential, you begin to tear down the walls that have kept you confined. This is the essence of power, claiming your authority over your own mind and refusing to give away your energy to fear. Transformation demands sacrifice. It asks you to let go of comfort zones that have become prisons disguised as safety. Growth is uncomfortable because it is unfamiliar. You will stumble, falter, and sometimes feel broken, but these moments are not your end. They are the crucible through which you are forged anew. Each challenge met and overcome adds to your strength, reshaping you into the person who can withstand any storm. This is not just resilience. It is mastery over yourself and your environment. The pain you endure is temporary. The power you build lasts a lifetime. Your environment is a reflection of your inner world. To thrive, you must cultivate surroundings that nurture your ambition and protect your resolve. Cut ties with negativity, distractions, and anything that drains your energy. Fill your life with purpose-driven people, inspiring ideas, and relentless action. Your focus becomes your reality, so guard it fiercely. In this space, your dreams gain clarity, your vision sharpens, and your will becomes unstoppable. The discipline to protect this space is not optional. It is essential. Every moment you invest in your mental and emotional sanctuary multiplies your capacity to rise higher. Time does not wait, and the world rewards those who act decisively. Hesitation is the enemy of progress. You do not have to be fearless, but you must be willing to move forward despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in its presence. To stand still is to be left behind. Every second wasted doubting yourself is a second stolen from the life you could be creating. This is your call to action, to step boldly into the unknown, armed with belief in your own power and the refusal to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Your worth is inherent, untouched by the opinions of others or the mistakes of your past. It shines brightest when you choose to rise again and again in defiance of adversity. You were never meant to merely exist. You were born to conquer, to create, to leave a mark so powerful that it echoes beyond your lifetime. Stand tall in your truth. Embrace your power with unshakable conviction. Your moment is now. The life you envision is within reach. Claim it fiercely, live it fully, and watch as the world bends to the force of your unstoppable will. Every moment you hesitate, the weight of potential left untouched grows heavier within you. This burden, though invisible to others, presses relentlessly on your spirit, demanding release through action. The power you seek does not come from waiting for permission or perfect conditions. It comes from deciding right now that your dreams are worth the discomfort of growth. There is no waiting line for greatness. No one is standing between you and the life you deserve except your own doubts, your own fears, and the excuses you tell yourself to stay small. Break free from these chains. Refuse to allow hesitation to rob you of the destiny that waits just beyond the edge of your comfort zone. Your power lives on the other side of resistance, forged by the courage to move forward when every instinct screams to retreat. You are not defined by past failures or moments of weakness. Each setback is a lesson carved into your foundation, a necessary step that shapes the unbreakable character rising within. The most profound growth comes through challenge. To resist difficulty is to deny yourself the transformation that pain can bring. Embrace your struggles as the sculptors of your spirit. When you confront the harsh realities of life with open eyes and a fierce heart,